All right, check it out. We're looking at the HDR-AX2000. This is a very nice AVCHD prosumer level video camera. Now, these cameras have come a long way. This very small portable form factor is actually better than some of the pro cameras that existed just about 2 years ago. This camera can be used for just about anything. You can film a documentary on it, you can do a reality TV show, or you can record your kids' first steps. It's for somebody that wants to do a more pro level production or wants to do something that looks a little bit nicer, doesn't want to just use a regular camcorder, but doesn't need to spend $10,000 on a full HD high-end professional video camera. It's right in between. It's still pretty expensive, but different levels of people can use it. It has full auto mode, but it also has full manual control. It has XLR inputs. It has, my favorite setting is it has built-in ND grads or built-in ND filters. They're not grads. That'll let you shoot in bright light. It does shoot in 1080i as well as 1080p. It can shoot in 24 frames per second. So if you want to do kind of the cinema or the movie look, it can also shoot at 30 frames per second for your standard internet look, and it shoots at 60 frames per second as well. So if you want to do any type of slow motion look, you can do that as well by overcranking it in post-production. Now, let's talk a little bit about the camera. I'm going to show you everything around it. There's a lot of stuff to go through. I'm going to start you off with the viewfinder because it's pretty impressive. Now, I added the optional eye cup that comes with it. It comes in the box, and I just went ahead and stuck it on there. Now, what's in here is it's a 1.2 million pixel sensor in there. So a very, very, very nice viewfinder. It does have a diopter adjustment, and it does rotate and articulate in any way you want. The diopter adjustment's right here, and if you want to remove the whole thing off, you can just slide it off like that. And then put it on. There is a release. Now, if you don't want to use this very nice 1.2 million dot screen, you also have this display right here. This is a 921,000 dot touch-sensitive LCD. It's 3.2 inches diagonal. I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera on over here just so you can see what it looks like. Very, very nice display as well. You can use it. It is touch sensitive. You're not going to be using it, the touch sensitive part for everything, but when you are in the visual index where it shows you all the videos that you've taken, that's where basically you're going to be using it to select which video you want to watch. The rest of the time when you're out of the visual index, you're not really going to use it. Now, let's move on to some of the other stuff. I'm going to start you off. Let's see, where should we start? I'm going to start you off from right over here in the front. Here's your map box. It does have a switch right here to open and close the map box. So you're going to see there, I can close and open the map box. That acts as a lens cap. Very nice, very fluid, easy to use. Now there's 3 manual rings. The first one you're going to see is going to be your focus. Second one is going to be your zoom. And then finally, the last one here is the iris. If you put this into manual control, actually manual control is right over here. See, now it's in full manual and manual focus. That means that you have to use these rings. Right over here are your 3 ND filters. You can add those as you want, 1/4, 1/16, or 1/64. So if you want to shoot in very bright light, you can go ahead and add those neutral density filters. A couple things going on here. You do have the full autofocus. You can go to manual. If you want it to push out to infinity, you just slide it down, and it's going to push out into infinity and then go back to manual mode. Also, if you don't want to actually focus it yourself, but you want to stay in manual, there's a push button automatic focus where you can point it at something, push autofocus, and it's going to automatically autofocus but stay in manual. Over here, 3 assignable buttons. There's another 3 up here. Now these are assigned to zebra, auto exposure shift, and then the visual index, but you can assign whatever you want. You can also assign down here. Definitely, there's several different things you can do with this, but basically anything that you use all the time or very often, you can put picture profiles in here because this camera does support a storing of up to 6 picture profiles. You can do different settings, 24p, 30p, whatever. It's all right there. Now over here are your audio controls. Here you can switch between the internal microphone or one of the 2 XLR inputs that this does have that are available to you. You can control levels here as well. And in case you're curious, right up here is where you're going to monitor from. So you're going to stick your headphones in there to monitor. What else do we have going on over here? Down over here is your selector. So you're going to do most of your selection through the menus using this. There is another set of buttons at the top by the view screen, but these are the easiest to use. So down, up, push, and then select and execute. You also over here have presets for your white balance as well as for your gain. So let's say you want to increase the gain. You can go through between two settings by pushing the button, and then you can do low, medium, and high gain, as well as a negative gain. It's actually called minus ACG. You'll find it in the menu, but basically it lets you go into a negative ISO or a negative gain where you're going to be in bright light, and let's say your minimum was 100 or 0, it's going to go into the negative. You can adjust your white balance right here, and then you can adjust your shutter speed here to adjust it. You'd push the button, and then you'd scroll up to increase the shutter speed or down to decrease it. Over here, menu buttons, mode buttons, and then your picture profiles and your status check. The battery is conveniently located in the back. You're going to see I have a tiny little battery in here. You can get really huge batteries that'll last you for hours and hours and hours. Basically, with the one you're looking at here, you're looking at about 3-4 hours maybe, but you can go to the really big batteries and it'll last you a very long time. This thing does record to dual memory sticks. Right now I have an SDHC card in there, but you can also shoot the Memory Stick Pro Duos and the Pro HD Duos as well. There's dual slots, so you can actually select which one you want it to record to by pushing the button, and if one fills up and you're in the middle of shooting, it's automatically going to go to the next one and keep filming. So that's an excellent feature, which I like a lot. Battery release is right there. It's going to let go of your battery. Over here, a couple things going on. First, AV out built in with no, no cable. It's just a straight RCA out. Down here, full-size HDMI, which is nice. Component out, as well as a USB 2.0, and then DV in. That's where you're going to plug your power cable in if you want to go ahead and use power from the wall. Now we'll come over here to this side. A couple things going on here. Your power button, as well as the record button. Over here is where you're going to plug in your remote. It does have a remote that's included. This is your expanded focus button. Your zoom control is right here. And then now we'll go to the top part. I'm going to show you all the stuff on the top. Like I mentioned before, you kind of have those same controls that we saw on the side are kind of up here. You want to go through your visual index, you push right there. The rest of your menus are all right here with a D-pad. You can control volume, status check, data code, and then you show what kind of information is on your display by pushing this. If you want a blank viewfinder, actually, you know what? Let me just show you. Here we are. If you want to just look at a blank viewfinder, you can hit display. See, it gets rid of all the extra information. You want to bring a little more information up, you hit it again, et cetera, you take some off. So you can toggle through the different setups by using this button. Also, one of the cool parts about this, right over here, dual XLR inputs. Okay, these are very nice. You can record up to 2 channels at once. They do provide phantom power, up to 48 volts of phantom power per each one, so you can do some pretty good microphones, boom mics, condenser mics, et cetera. It does have a mount right here for whichever type of mount. It is rubber on the inside. It's going to keep everything nice and quiet, and you also have the built-in condenser mic right there, as well as a hot shoe in case you want to add any flashes. Those can all go right there. Now, the camera, let's talk a little bit about the sensors and stuff. You can see right here, 3 CMOS sensors are in this camera. It's an Exmor sensor set, but it doesn't have a single CMOS. It has 3, one for each colors, for red, green, and blue. So that's something that you're not going to see very often. That is extremely sensitive. It's sensitive to 1.5 lux, which is extremely low light. The sensors have built-in AD conversion, analog digital conversion, and dual noise reduction. So even if you're shooting at high gain, you're going to get a really, really nice image. The lens is absolutely incredible. It's a 20x zoom. It's 29.5 all the way up to 590 millimeter, 35 millimeter equivalent zoom. So very, very big zoom. It'll go about as far as you want it to go. You can also select, again, like I said earlier, between all the different presets as far as frame rates go. As a matter of fact, I can even show them to you. I'm going to go ahead and show them to you. We're going to go ahead and open the screen here. I'm going to go to menu, and you're going to see right off the bat, you have a lot of different things that you can access in here. The gain set, the automatic gain control, the minus gain control, which is what I showed you earlier, will actually let you shoot in bright sunlight with a negative gain, iris ring rotate, whether you want to go forward or reverse, white balances, auto iris, flicker reduction, et cetera. But what I want to show you are the different recording formats. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here into record format, and you're going to see this list starting all the way from 1080i with 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second progressive scan, 1080p 24p, 480 60i, and then 480 30p progressive scan, and 480 24p progressive scan as well. So tons of different settings. Now it's also important to note that it actually converts from the 24p to the 60i before it writes to the card, and does that with a 4.2 pull down. Besides that, it is a really, really nice camera. Build quality, pretty nice. It is made out of plastic, but the metal, the frame is obviously metal. It's very sturdy, it's very light, it's really easy to handle. Again, it's a Sony, so it has the Sony Steady Shot image stabilization. Works like a charm. I mean, you basically can't get unsmooth footage out of here. You'd have to turn it off if you wanted to get unsmooth footage. We were using it outside. We were doing low panning shots, and we were holding it above our heads in kind of precarious situations where you're not really too comfortable. You'd rather have it on a tripod or on a Steadicam, but it worked very, very well. The Steady Shot really smooths out the picture. I mean, you could have a really shaky hand and still produce some pretty smooth video with this really nice camera. What else have I mentioned? The matte box is removable. If you want to take it off, it has a little lock right over here. And to put it back on, it's the same thing. It just locks on. And that's basically it. This is a very nice camera. It's the AX2000 from the HDR series. Shoots to the AVCHD codec. Very nice camera. Dual solid-state memory card holders. Nice lens. The backlit sensor, the 3 CMOS sensors. You just really can't go wrong. If you're looking for a camera in the AVCHD format and you want to do medium level, this is exactly what I recommend. If you have any questions, email me. I'll see you guys next time. For more information on the Sony HDR-AX2000 AVCHD Camcorder, type in S08-3768 into any major search engine.
Yeah.